What's up, Tiger Nation? Thanks for tuning in. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Brandon Smith, and here with me is Jackson Carter, and we're your hosts for today's show.
Last week, we saw the basketball team cut down the nets in Bartlesville, Oklahoma after winning the Great American Conference Tournament Championship. In the final game against Arkansas Tech, the Tigers went into halftime down, but they battled back in the second half and took control of the game.
Senior Nigel Ramsey contributed to the win with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Another senior, Julian Leday, scored 7 points and dropped 5 dimes. Micah Delph, a sophomore, finished the game with 9 points, all coming from three-point range.
But the MVP of the tournament, Colt Faison, led the team with 15 points and 10 boards, recording his first double-double of the season. Faison, a 6'6" sophomore from Conway, Arkansas, was nice enough to talk to our Rundown crew about his performance, as well as the team's underdog story.
I would say towards the end, I think the seniors kind of stepped up their game and saw that their season was coming to an end in their careers, and so they kind of stepped their game up and were able to play as a team, and all of us kind of contributed really well on defensive end and offensive end, so it all helped out in the end. So.
Washita finished the season with a 17-12 record, ending on a 4-game win streak. The Tigers performed their best at home with a 12-2 record at Vining Arena.
During the regular season, the team maintained a spot in the middle of the conference, but beat 4 of the top 5 teams, including the number 1 seed Harding. In the GAC tournament, the number 5 seed OBU defeated 4 seed Southeastern Oklahoma, followed by another victory against Harding. The Tigers then took the GAC title against number 2 seed Arkansas Tech.
2 seniors, Austin Mitchell and Michael Morris, led the team in scoring and were key to success for the Tigers. Mitchell finished the season as the team's leading scorer with just over 13 points a game. A lot of his work came from beyond the arc with a 3-point percentage of 42. Morris also averaged double figures in scoring with 11 as well as 6 boards. Morris was another efficient scorer, shooting 50% from the field.
2 other seniors, Nigel Ramsey and Julian Leday, also played major roles in the Tigers' championship run. Ramsey from Birmingham, Alabama, finished the season averaging 10 points a game, and Leday, who is from Keller, Texas, finished the season with an average of 7 points per game.
The Tigers are led by Coach Dennis Nutt. We caught up with Coach Nutt to get his thoughts about his team's season and the GAC championship.
It's been interesting. It's a lot of ups and downs, of course, as any season would be. It's a long process, and our guys really worked hard from day one. We put them through some tough workouts early in our preseason, and then the season came along, and we knew we had a pretty good team, and it was just kind of took a while to get to it, but I think eventually it all came together in that last week in our tournament, and our guys, just really proud of our guys for playing like they did.
Congratulations to the men's basketball team. Now it's time to send it out to Tyler and Mitchell as they cover the intramural basketball championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the intramural section of The Rundown. My name is Mitchell Kelly. Alongside me here again is Tyler Davis, and the basketball season has come to a close. The tournament has been finished, and today we are here to cover each individual championship as well as tell you who won, get a little bit of highlights from the game as well as interviews afterwards. You ready, Tyler?
Take it away, Mitch.
All right, so we're going to start with the girls' lower league championship. We had 2 undefeated teams going into this game in Geeks and Sneaks and Chi Delta. Both of them were at 8-0 coming into the game, and at the end of the game, Chi Delta stands the victors. They are now the girls' lower league champs, and here's what Chi Delta had to say after the game.
This game was a little bit more intense than most of our other intramural games. The Geeks and Sneaks, we knew we were going to be really aggressive, so we came out aggressive too, but it was really fun. It was a high-intensity game, and I think we're all really tired from it. It feels good. Chi Delta's never really had a very successful basketball game, so we had a lot of fun this year, and our goal was just to come out and have fun, and we ended up being pretty good and winning, so winning's always fun too.
For men's lower league basketball, we had a battle between Bloodbath and Faraway and Los Latinos. It was a tough game, but in the end, Los Latinos ended up winning by 7 points. Here's what the team had to say about their victory.
It feels really good. We finished the season off undefeated. No one really thought we could win the championship. We went 9-0. No one really predicted us to win. So we kind of like being the underdogs and coming out here and just competing and having fun. So it was a lot of fun. I think it was really the defense. We came through clutch moments with big stops, and we had really good coaching out there as well. Coaches just did really well, getting us through plays, getting us through bad situations. So it was really good.
Girls Upper League basketball, we had EEE Hardcore versus Powerhouse Hoops. After a very hard-fought game, Powerhouse came out on top, and here's what they had to say after their victory.
It's always nice to beat the E's. They are really good and they're really competitive as well as us, so it's nice to beat them. Felt like we really talked well on defense and we were able to move the ball on offense as well, so I would say those are our strengths. We we have to use a lot of teamwork every game. We can never slack off anytime we're playing, so I feel like we always had good composure, and we just, even if at times when the other teams were coming back or something, we always stayed composed and were able to hold on to the win.
For men's upper league basketball, we had a solid game between Beta Black and Follow Me. In the end, Follow Me won on a last-second putback, and here's what Follow Me had to say about taking home the championship shirt.
It's a hard game. We didn't have our coaches, or not our coaches, but our players, they're our coaches. So when we had 5 people to go with, we had to grind it out. I feel like success, because we came from the bottom and we won. You know what I'm saying? Like we're here. Just like my man Drake said, rebounds. Rebounds win this game, and hustle. We out-hustle them, out-rebounded them. I tried to fall back. I'm not too much of an offensive player. And he shot it up, you know, and it just fell in my hands. I put it up for the buzzer.
Well, there you go. Those are the intramural championships. We appreciate you guys being with us. Now we're going to kick it out to Jackson in the roundtable, and we'll see you guys next week.
Welcome to the roundtable. This week I have Chelsea Byers, who produces and directs the show. We've got a little mix up this week. Andrew McCraw, who runs the cameras quite often, and then you know Brandon from our hosting segment earlier. And this week we're going to be talking the NCAA tournament. Brandon, who you got to win it?
There's a lot of teams that have the chance of winning it, but I personally have Miami. They weren't ranked. They were not ranked early in the season, but they came out and I think they had a 14-game win streak. They beat Duke. They absolutely murdered Duke at Miami, and then they lost to Duke later on in the season, but it was a close game. Shane Larkin, their point guard, he's just a stud. Barry Larkin's son. He's a Hall of Fame baseball player. Shane chose basketball, and he's doing a very good job at it, and I think he's going to lead this team all the way to the championship.
I mean, for me personally, I have the University of Michigan. You know, obviously in that conference, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of crazy upsets this year, but I think Michigan has the talent. Tim Hardaway Jr., obviously he's got the basketball blood in him, always able to make big shots. And then Burke, Player of the Year candidate, both in the Big Ten and for like nationally. I just think Michigan, when it gets to tournament time, they're going to be able to step up and win it.
You know, I completely disagree with you, Jackson. I got to go with the Indiana Hoosiers, mainly because we did upset your team when y'all were #1. I do specifically remember that. And also, we beat y'all again when you were #7. And we're definitely first in the Big Ten Conference. And we have Cody Zeller, and he's sinking baskets. He's got 16 points per game, averaging that, and that's crazy, you know, for a player. And I really think that since they're second overall in points per game, they're really going to be able to step it up and win the championship this year.
Okay, here's what I think. Okay, there's a list of things that you really need in this tournament to play well. Okay, you have to have good guard play, one. They have to be able to hit lots of good shots, both clutch shots and three-point shots in the game. You have to have a good forward that can play down low and get clutch buckets and solid rebounding. You have to have a good coaching, and you have to be able to hit some last-second shots as well. That is why I'm picking the Duke Blue Devils, okay? They're led by Coach K. He's seasoned. He's been there before. They've been upset before as well, but that's okay. Solidly, like I said, the guard play. You have Seth Curry, very solid. He can hit the threes. He goes off in the clutch time, and he's fantastic in transition. Also, you have Mason Plumlee, who is fantastic down low, gets lots of rebounds. And the really X factor I see is Ryan Kelly. They're 18-0 this season with him. All 4 of Duke's losses came with Kelly off the floor, including what you were saying with Miami beating them. Kelly was off, and that caused them to pressure both Plumlee and Curry more. Actually, Miami did shut out Curry in that game. He was 0 for 10. So with Ryan Kelly on the floor, he takes pressure off of all of them. So I think that really helps them out. So if he's healthy, they play well, they spread the floor, and they'll be really good.
Well, and I think you made a good point here. You have to win 6 games. And so, you know, upsets have happened a lot this season. There's nothing new this year about that. But I think there was one week where I think every single top 10 team lost, or every top 5 team lost in an upset. And, you know, teams at home, teams away, they're all falling. And so even though they're #1 in the country, just another team I want to throw out here is Gonzaga. You know, they haven't, people say the strength of schedule. Obviously, they don't have a big conference to play in, but they won every game in their conference that they did, and that's what they have to do. And they're a dark horse every year, and I think at this point they just have the best opportunity that they're going to have probably ever to win the national championship. That's just my personal thoughts, though.
Yeah, I like those picks. Yeah, Michigan as well, also a great pick. Trey Burke is just an outstanding point guard. It's definitely my favorite player in the entire NCAA. But Gonzaga, I don't see them going very far. I see them being able to beat a 16 seed. It's pretty simple, but going past that, it's going to be pretty tough to win 6 consecutive games, especially for Gonzaga, who, like you said, does not have a very strong schedule. When I look at an upset team, I look at Villanova. Jay Wright is their coach. He's been there for forever, and he coached the team with Scotty Reynolds that had the buzzer-beating layup back in 2009, and they made it onto the Final Four. It's a great team. They know how to win. Villanova's been there before. They got players like Javon Pinkston. He's just all-around stud. He had 20 points against Georgetown. Also, speaking of Georgetown, they have beaten every single top team in the Big East, which is the best conference in basketball. They've beaten Georgetown, Louisville, Syracuse, Marquette, and UConn. And they have an outstanding record against the tough teams. They've lost a couple bad losses, but if they get in a roll, they can beat anybody.
And actually, back to Gonzaga, I don't really consider them a sleeper pick at all. I think they're right there in the thick of things. And, you know, with this tournament, it's a really wide open tournament. You know, 5 number 1 seeds went down last month alone, in a row, basically. And so really, it's just a wide open tournament in itself. And I see Gonzaga as being there at the end. They've really grown as a program as well. My sleeper pick, 2 words, Beta Sheds. Just kidding. Hunter Soper, that's for you right there, buddy. All right, actually, my actual sleeper pick here would be Butler, the Butler Bulldogs. Okay, they always seem to be there late in the tournament. This is a team that's built for the NCAA tournament. They're led by Rodney Clark, guard. He's 3rd in the ACC with the 3rd in the ACC in points per game. He's actually transferred from Arkansas. That's interesting since we're right there in Arkansas. They've beaten Indiana. They've beaten Gonzaga. They've beaten North Carolina and Xavier. So they're going to be right there.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you. I'm sorry, Miss Producer, but that's all the time we have for this week. This has been The Roundtable. I'm Jackson Carter, and y'all have a great week.
Well, that's all we got for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @TheRundownOBU and also like our Facebook page at facebook.com/TheRundown-OBU. For Jackson Carter, I'm Brandon Smith. That's all, folks.
I've got to stop laughing. Oh, shoot.
What's up, Tigers?
I can't stop.
You're laughing before it even started.
I can't stop.